Jim Nelson in the 19 News Now digital studio, coming to you with some breaking news on that train derailment in Columbiana County in East Palestine, about 20 miles south of Youngstown. As we take a look at some of the aerials, this shows some of the burning that had taken place. At this point, a lot of the fire wasn't the main concern late into the day, but you can see the mess. We've been covering this all weekend. This has been a huge story, gaining some national attention. Again, this train derailment in Columbiana County near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. The breaking news that we have coming in within a matter of the last half hour from Governor Mike DeWine's office, the governor issuing what they're calling an urgent evacuation notice. The governor's team writing, quote, following an evening briefing regarding that train derailment in East Palestine, Governor DeWine and Columbiana County officials now issuing an urgent warning to those living within a mile of the derailment, adding within the last 2 hours, a drastic temperature change has taken place in a rail car, and we'll bring up part of the statement. So again, the governor's team writing, within the last 2 hours, a drastic temperature change has taken place in a rail car, and there is now the potential of a catastrophic tanker failure, which could cause an explosion with the potential of deadly shrapnel traveling up to a mile. Although the teams are still working to prevent an explosion from happening, again, this is all coming from the governor, by the way. They write, although teams are working to prevent an explosion from happening, residents living within a mile of the site are advised to immediately leave the area. While most individuals in that 1 mile radius have already evacuated, and we've been reporting on that for the last couple of days, officials there in Columbiana County report that about 500 people so far have decided against leaving their homes. The governor, again, issuing an urgent evacuation notice, advising everyone to get out of there. Those who are able to, advised to immediately evacuate by the governor. Those who need help should reach out to local authorities. Now, the Columbiana County Sheriff has said that people with children in their homes who have decided against evacuating could be subject to arrest. Here's the one other detail that's just come in within the last half hour. It was actually at 8 o'clock. We received word about 8:30, but at 8 o'clock, Governor DeWine activated the Ohio National Guard to deploy to that area to assist the local authorities. The Ohio State Highway Patrol, Ohio Emergency Management Agency, and the Ohio EPA have also been assisting Columbiana County officials. The NTSB has been on scene, but again, the breaking news tonight is that Governor Mike DeWine has issued an urgent evacuation notice and has deployed the Ohio National Guard to East Palestine, about 20 miles south of Youngstown, to assist in this ongoing emergency, this dangerous derailment with all of those cars. These aerial pictures, incredible to look at. But again, an urgent evacuation notice issued tonight. Governor DeWine saying within the last 2 hours, a drastic temperature change has taken place in a rail car, and there is now the potential of a catastrophic tanker failure, which could cause an explosion with the potential of deadly shrapnel traveling up to a mile. Again, that straight from Governor DeWine's office about 8:30 tonight. And they said that information they've gathered coming in within the last 2 hours. The governor reiterating that teams are actively working to prevent an explosion, but because of that threat, they are really pushing for everybody within that 1 mile radius to evacuate if they haven't done so already. The numbers we're getting from the state, citing local officials, is that there were still about 500 people who had not yet evacuated. The Columbiana County Sheriff's Office has said those with children in their homes who have declined to evacuate could be subject to arrest. The Ohio National Guard, at the order of Mike DeWine, also deployed to assist with local authorities. We, of course, will continue to follow this story very closely. We will have the very latest coming up tonight at 10 o'clock on CW 43 and then over on 19 as soon as the Grammys are done. As always, we want to make sure that we get any breaking news to you on all of our digital platforms. Be sure to check in at cleveland19.com and follow along on the 19 News app, as whenever something develops, we will be sure to get that to you, again, at the website, on the app, and on these same digital platforms as soon as any new information becomes available. But again, to recap our breaking news, Governor Mike DeWine issuing an urgent evacuation notice within that 1 mile radius surrounding this dangerous train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, about 20 miles south of Youngstown. That's in Columbiana County. The National Guard deployed, and once more, just to reiterate why this is happening, this coming straight from the governor's office, quote, within the last 2 hours, a drastic temperature change has taken place in a rail car, and there is now the potential of a catastrophic tanker failure which could cause an explosion with the potential of deadly shrapnel traveling up to a mile. As I mentioned, we will continue to follow this very closely. We'll have any new information for you on the TV side of things. CW 43, 10 o'clock over on 19 as soon as the Grammys wrap up. As always, news 24/7 at cleveland19.com and on the 19 News app. We'll leave it at that for now and continue to, as I mentioned, monitor this very closely, and we'll be sure to pass along any new information as it becomes available. In the 19 News Now digital studio, I'm Jim Nelson.
19 News. First, fair, everywhere.